Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bettor and the Bookmaker. Now, last week, if you followed our advice, you probably made a little bit of money. Anthony, how did you make out last week with our picks, my friend?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I finally had a winning week. It's shockingly, you know,
Maybe we're good luck
um,
together.
yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it comes down to. I think we had a little bit of good luck because I don't have any luck when it comes to gambling. I have a lot of luck when it comes to a lot of things in my life, but gambling, I don't have any luck. And we actually had a couple winners, so
Yeah.
we did good.
What we called TCU plus the points and
Yeah,
also the outright win, which if you took that bet, paid pretty handsomely. I want
yeah.
to say it was like maybe 240 or something like that paying out to the win. I can't remember the exact number on it because
Well, no. We had Georgia even money.
yeah, but in that when we picked TCU though, you said that you expected
Oh yeah, yeah.
to
Oh
win
yeah, no.
outright.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
No. I think I was higher than 240. But yeah, you're right. It was around there.
It
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have
yeah.
been 320. It was
And
240.
we called the winner on the field that game.
Yeah.
So that was like a a 3-1 winner.
Yeah.
So even if we pick, two losers this week, we're okay with that because we covered with the
And the Georgia game, man, what'd you think about that Georgia game? That was an awesome.
That was a great game. And we called that too. I mean, we said it was going to be a high scoring game.
Yep.
Georgia did what they did to grind out the win at the end of the when it was all said and done. They got they got a couple lucky breaks, to be able to carry it through. But that's what good teams do.
Yep.
They capitalize on those lucky breaks.
Find a way to win. I think Harrison not coming back in for Ohio State probably hurt them. That was probably the dagger. They had Marvin Harrison's kid in there. I don't know if Georgia would have been able to stop him. And I guess that'll lead into, the national championship, which I want to do our picks for that because Georgia hasn't been in like a ton of teams that can match them firepower wise until they got a hold Ohio State. And I was very surprised. And TCU has firepower. We know that they can put up some points. So leading into that, man, I'll be honest with you, I'm leaning towards taking the points and TCU again on the national championship. What are you looking at right now?
All right. So what is the line right now?
It was started out at 13.5, and now it's all the way down to 12 or 12.5, depending on where your books.
So you got to look at it like this. Georgia beat Ohio State. It was a great game. Could have went either way. Ohio State gave them a good game. Now Michigan blew out Ohio State in the championship game.
Yep.
Okay. TCU beats Michigan, and they beat them. They played a great game. They beat them good. They won that game.
Yeah, they let off the gas a little bit, I think, towards the end, but by and large, they dominated that game start to finish.
Yep. So if you look at it on those facts right there, you have to bet TCU. So with that being said, it's like TCU, they played in the championship. They were undefeated until the Kansas State game, and they lost that in the championship game. But they have a well balanced team. They have a defense and offense type of a scheme, right? Georgia is like a methodical, boring, professional team. Like they got great defense. They're bigger. They're stronger. Then they'll just beat you with like little bit of offense here. They're not like the Rams that were the greatest show on earth. Right. You know what I mean? But they are capable. So I think the points, at the end are too much. I mean, the way TCU played against Michigan, it wasn't like they were they were lucky in that game. They beat them that game. They beat them that game, And Ohio State played toe to toe with Georgia. So if you just go by that and you're getting all those points, you have to go. I'd have to agree with you. I'd have to say TCU, and I'll even go with maybe taking TCU on the field. like a crazy shot.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. That's something that I'm thinking of too. I seen Mattress Mac put down like 1.5 million on TCU to win outright, because that's the thing about TCU lately, man. People, they've been getting these points, but I don't even think they need as many points as they've been getting, because like I would take TCU at 7.5 with a hook, but you're getting them at 12. So you're getting them, basically 2 scores. So you got to figure TCU comes out the gate. Just say they score first. All right, then you're up, was 19 points. You're up almost 21 points right off the rip if they score the first touchdown. So what I'm thinking is probably do a small wager on TCU to win outright. If you're going to lay the money, I'd take the points. And then on this situation too, I like a teaser, a 6-pointer probably. I would go with a 6 because that'll bump you up to 18.5. And then I would take the total down, because if it's going to work in your favor, you figure if TCU scores twice, all right, in order for you to lose both sides of that bet, then Georgia would almost have to put up nothing. So if Georgia comes back and puts up enough to win, then you're going to win the over too. So I like that.
Right. But what's in and over?
I do not have that in front of me. Let me take a peek.
Because the problem, what you just said with that, Wade, is you have to win both on the teaser.
Yeah.
So it's like what you made a good point. Like when you made a good point as far as, TCU only has to score twice. But the problem is, if they score twice and Georgia scores nothing, you don't win the teaser bet.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I don't see Georgia.
No. I get what you're saying. Like in other words, when you compare points like that, they have to score twice, and you're comparing it like what Georgia's going to, compare to what they have to score. Yes, I agree with you.
63.5 is the over.
53 or 63?
63.
Damn, it's that high?
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's like,
you know what? Take that down if you take it on.
Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Wade. So I'm going to tell you what all the years of experience I got gambling, booking, and everything. It would be stupid to make a teaser bet when it comes to the over and under, because regardless if you go 57 or 69, what's the difference? You're going to go under 63, and you don't have to win 2 bets, and you've got even money on the game, or you're just laying 550 to 5 or 1,100 to 1,000. Mm-hmm. I go, that would be the best bet. So if you were going to say what you said, TCU and the over, you're better off. Bet them separately, because you know what? You only then your strategy works, because now TCU has to score, I think, 24 points, 37-24. They got to score, like, TCU would have to score 25 points to, you said 63, right? Mm-hmm. So you're talking like 24, 25 points to what guarantee, then you can't lose both ways. Yeah. And then if you do win one or lose one, you lose the juice. That's it. Yeah. But the other way, you know what I mean? For 6 points, when it's that high of a spread and something like that, I wouldn't even waste my money with the teaser. That's my opinion when it comes to that. Like, teasers are good when the teasers are the best, like when a team is 2.5 points, and then you take them with that 8.5. So you get above that 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. You get them above all that, that 8 points, all those key numbers, mm-hmm. right? So a teaser plays into effect with that.
Well, like tonight, for example, I done a 6-pointer on Kansas City. They were -8, so that bumps them down to only -2, where a field goal in effect wins you the game because they're only -2, which they won it by way more than that, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah, but I thought they were like 13 or something.
Nah, they were 8
against the Raiders.
Yeah, they were only 8.
They went down to 8.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was 8.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
I thought they were like a 13, 14-point favorite.
It went down to 8. And I mean, it was at Oakland. I don't know if that really mattered.
Yeah, and the game didn't mean nothing for Oakland. It meant something for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because I think they were playing for the number 1 seed. And I just can't believe that they were only 8. I thought they were like at least 13. Wow.
Yeah.
So 8 would have been
Closing odds was 8.5 on there. I think when I put it in, it was 8. So you do a 6-pointer on that brings it down to 2. So in effect, a field goal wins you the game.
Right.
And then I paired that with Jacksonville, who's right now, a little shaky, but again, they were 13-7. Yep. So, but that makes them even. So they were mistakes in this game.
Yeah. But like when you get back to the teasers, laying the 2 doesn't mean you're always better off. You know this by laying the 1.5 or even the 2.5.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because either way, you're gonna win or lose.
To where it goes down to a field goal wins the game. That's always by and large where you want to try to get to.
Right.
I don't see anything in the pros that really jump off the page. Tomorrow, Kansas City was the big one tonight because they have something to play for. Jacksonville's the other big one tonight because they have something to play for, which is probably why they were on the Saturday slate. There is some games. I think if the Eagles lose and the Cowboys win, then the Cowboys will win that division. The Eagles are playing the Giants. Yeah. If the Eagles lose and the Cowboys win, the Cowboys would take the division. So they are playing for something, even though they're not necessarily playing each other. I forgot who Dallas is playing. Eagles are playing the Giants.
Right.
And Dallas is playing Washington. But the thing about that game, if I'm not, let me see what time.
And it's got to mean something for the Giants. Like like Tampa Bay, it doesn't mean shit. They won the division.
They're in regardless.
So regardless of anything, they're going to get a home field first round bye. I mean, home field first round game. And so Seattle, something like that.
Seattle can get in, but they need help. So a lot of the teams, not only do they need to win, but then they also need other teams to either win or lose. So it would be really, in my opinion, it would be tricky to try to figure all that out unless you really done a deep dive into it. I would think, man, just hold on unless you get something that you really, really like. I would just say hold off onto the national championship because I believe TCU is as good as guaranteed money with that 12.5 point spread.
Well, again, we're going to tell our audience that me and you like TCU, so make sure they bet their balls and everything they got and own on Georgia.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it went good and everything last week. So,
I know. Hey, you never know. Let me tell you something. Can you imagine if we start picking winners here? What this could end up turning into?
Yeah,
we might be the next the gurus when it comes to picking football games.
Yeah, Jimmy the Greek, watch out, boy!
All those guys. You remember back in the day? All those guys. Bobby DeMarco or whatever those guys were. You call them 1-800. Call me and I'll give you the game. They used to give half the country one game and half the country the other game. So no matter what, they had a winner.
50% of the people back and get 25% of them, and you just started over. Yeah. I think one of the coolest movies I ever watched about it was 2 for the Money. Did you ever see that one with Al Pacino and Matthew McConaughey?
I don't think I've seen that. What's it called? 2 for the Money?
2 for the Money. It was based on a true story. A guy, he was a real bookmaker or a gambler, and I think he still does it to a certain extent. But his name was Brandon Lang, and Matthew McConaughey plays him. And like the head over the firm that hired him to make all these picks is Al Pacino. So obviously there's 2 fantastic actors right there. And I mean, it's a good movie. It all revolves around sports.
About the gambling? Oh
yeah. That's what he does. He's a guy that picks. Yeah.
2 for the Money. Yeah. Yep. But getting to the tomorrow games, I mean, there is a couple of games that will stand out. That you could capitalize on and take advantage of, like those games that don't mean nothing for somebody, like Atlanta. What do you do there with Tampa Bay? They're getting points. I think they're at home. Tampa Bay probably ain't gonna play Brady. They'll be stupid to play anybody because they got a home playoff game the next. How can you not take Atlanta? But then again, you would think that, and then you know what I mean. So it's like.
The only reservation I would have on that is I do know they're starting that Ritter kid from Cincinnati, Desmond Ritter. So it'd be a toss up. But I mean, like you said, I don't see him risking playing anybody in Tampa for a meaningless game. So you figure if Atlanta starters can pull out a win, but then you don't know. I know theoretically in NFL, you're never going out there to lose, but at the same time, you're looking at, okay, if we win, that's costing us possibly a couple spots in the draft.
Right. Exactly. Now, what about this New England Buffalo game? What do you think there? Because New England needs to win that game. If New England wins, they're in.
Right. And Buffalo can't necessarily – Buffalo, I think, is where they're at. I don't think they can move.
Buffalo, no. From what I was told today, if Buffalo loses and Cincinnati wins, then they can lose that second seed to Cincinnati.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they can't get the number 1 seed because Kansas City
won
earlier
Kansas City
today.
got it. Right.
So, yeah, they can lose the second seed. So, yeah, I mean, that's an interesting game, and it's at 8. See what the score was previously.
I think it was like 7.5 or 8 points. What's that?
Yeah, 24-10 when they played each other earlier in the year, and the 1st of December was the score previous.
Right.
So,
and you know what? I would take a shot. I would take a shot with New England that game. You know what I mean? If I was, I wouldn't make a big bet on them, but I would take a shot with New England.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it really, when this week right here comes down to it in the pros, you really kind of got to do your homework, pick the teams that are playing for something versus the teams that are not, because if a team is not playing for anything, they're probably not going to put all their eggs out there, so to speak, because they don't want to jeopardize draft status either, or draft pick wise.
Right.
So, and people,
but if everybody thought like that, then everybody would be a winner.
Yeah.
So it's like there's always that. If everybody thought like that, well, this team's got nothing to play for, and this team is their season is over. Then you know what? Let's just bet. Everybody thinks like that. Then everybody should be a winner. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You know what I notice is, like, in this NFL stuff is, like, whenever you think a team is like that, bet the opposite way.
Yeah,
that's the only time I was really a consistent winner. The only time I was a consistent winner was when I was booking the games, right? So say we had like 10,000 on one team, 15,000 on another. So I had to have those teams win. So when I was betting this other office, I would bet those teams that I needed to win with the other office. And that's the only time I won consistently in my life.
Wow.
Because I wasn't picking the games. I was just going by what the bettors, the public, were picking.
And by and large, most public bettors favor the favorites. The favorites, I guess would be the term. You get some that go after the underdogs, but most people like the favorites. And I think I read a stat. This was probably like maybe middle of the year. They said if you'd have took the underdog in every game, you'd have been up something insane, because there was a lot of upsets this year, man. Especially, there was even a lot of underdog outright wins, not even counting people not covering the spread, but just underdog wins. I mean, Green Bay had a stretch there where if you'd have took who, they were laying 7 and 10 and 12 and losing the game outright. So that's like prime pickings for people that are noticing that. But they look like they might be riding the ship. That's another one that's going to be tough because they're playing Detroit. Both of them have something to play.
I mean, what do you like there? I think Detroit can win that game.
Yeah, they've already beat them. They beat them earlier this year. That was one of them I was talking about. They were minus, I think, 13 points. Green Bay was, and Detroit won it outright.
Yeah, and I think they're getting about 6.5 points. You know what I mean? I would take Detroit even that game just to say fuck it.
Yeah. The only thing, I think they might be in Green Bay, so that's something you got to look at too.
Right, it is
weather-wise, because Detroit is a dome team, so you're taking them out of that dome and you're going to playing in Wisconsin weather. That is something you have to look at. But at the same time, it's not exactly like it's warm in Detroit either. I mean, they freeze pretty good up there too. So
but I would definitely take them with the points. Yeah, I would take Detroit with the points that game.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how it looks out, man. We'll check back in next week. I mean, the big one here, obviously, the Natty, and I think the consensus between you and I is we're going to roll with TCU, roll with the points, take the points if they're giving them. Probably a little something on the over. So, betting public, do what you will, and then we'll get together next week and take a look at the NFL playoffs. And real quick, I'll just close out with this. Did you watch that Monday night game last week? Because you and I talked about how much of an important game that was going to be, possibly AFC matchup preview. Did you watch it? Did you watch the hit with DeMar Hamlin?
Oh, yeah. Well, so here's what happened. I was actually somewhere. I was out eating dinner. And I had a bet on the game, and something happened. I forgot where I was. I was eating dinner, and then no. I was doing a podcast. I was doing a podcast, and I said, hey, anybody know the score in the game? and they texted me the hit with the guy, you know, and he's saying like this, and I actually seen the guy hit and fall down and this and that, and yeah, but so yeah, I was doing a podcast when that actually happened. You know, it's a tragedy. It's like, you know, I'm surprised if that happened to him throughout the history of football, that never happened before, because that must happen. You know, I mean, they said he tackled the guy with his chest, his heart. I mean, come on, everybody tackles, you know, like that, and like that never happened before.
It was like something I watched a doctor kind of explain it and break it down. It's like the rhythm of the heartbeat. It has to happen like with a certain amount of force at the exact time. Somebody else said this happens like 10 times a year to everybody in the world, like 10 times, you know, with everyone in the world. So, you know, not great odds there, but I think it was a fluke. But the thing that I think really drew me to the television and praying for that young man was I've seen guys get hurt. I've seen guys get injured, legs broken, ankles snapped.
Right.
But that one, I mean, you're doing CPR on the kid. Like you only do CPR when the person's, you know, no longer with us. I mean, that's the unfortunate truth.
I mean, it was a scary thing, and I get why you know, everybody was scared about it. You know, they take it. It's a contact sport. It's a violent sport. You know, people say, well, big deal. Yeah. No, that was something different. That was a, you know, the life-threatening freak accident. So, you know, I get why they canceled the game and all that stuff. They should have, and they did the right thing. But getting back to me and you picking these games, if we do good, Wade, and we are picking these winners, you know, going into next week, and we continue to go good, you know, we got coming up, we got NBA coming up, we got March Madness. You know, we might as well just start a subscription and start charging for our great picks. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have to, you know, a couple of bucks. I know you guys are out here betting hundreds. You know, you could throw 5, 10, 20 bucks our way. You know, give us some drinking money for crying out.
You know what I mean? Well, it's not even about throwing it. We're giving you these winners. Like, listen, we, you know, especially when me and you are both picking these winners, if we continue to be hot, and we giving these people these winners, and they're going out capitalizing, living life excellent. You know what I'm saying? We got to start charging for our picks. You know, like in other words, we got to do like those guys used to do. Well, we'll give you our opinions of this game, but if you want our best opinion, our lock of the week, boom,
lead pipe lock, they call it.
At the end of it all, they'll be looking to kill us. Gave us all losers.
And when they subscribe to that, they can get like the extra bonus content where we can talk about some of your stories, because you've got some crazy gambling stories that we didn't get into. One podcast.
Definitely. Let me tell you something. Wait, if we talked about my gambling stories, I don't know what time is it. It's like 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tonight, we'll be talking till 10 o'clock tomorrow night when it comes to my crazy gambling stories. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like an episode we probably need to do.
Yeah, without a doubt. Those are some good, funny stories, you know?
All right, my friend. Well, hopefully everybody makes some money. I hope you made some money last week. If you took the missus out, you know, tell her a little bit of that was from Anthony and myself, and I hope she appreciated it. Let's make some more money this week right here. And if things go well with TCU, I'll check back in with you Monday night. But if things go well, man, like you said, we might have to start doing a little nominal fee here for getting all this good information.
Right. And don't kill us when we pick you. Don't kill us when we give you a loser.
Yeah, it happens, man. It's part of the business.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Hollywood Wade. That was Anthony Arillotta. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Tune in next week, hopefully with a pocket full of cash for the Bettor and the Bookmaker. Anthony, we appreciate it, my friend.
All right, my man. You have a good night.